Hello everyone, we are from Group 11. In this video, we will discuss about standard-based education. Our group consists of Galuh, Mulia, Wahana, and Nurul, Asyiah. Later, we will talk about post-method era, an informed eclectic approach, and standard-based education. Post-method era. In post-methods era, teachers should have the independence to design their own strategies, materials, or procedure to achieve their desired learning objective. Teachers need to become principled pragmatists, shaping their students' classroom learning through informed teaching and critical reflection. The post-method teacher is characterized as reflective, autonomous, and self-directed. Second one is an informed eclectic approach. The approach that the teacher uses includes a number of basic principles of learning and teaching, which the teacher can rely for designing and evaluating classroom lessons. The approach to language teaching methodology is a theoretically well-informed global understanding of the process of learning and teaching. The interconnection of all the reading, observing, discussing, and teaching will inspire the teacher. The interconnection underlies everything that the teacher do in the classroom. Next discussion, we'll talk about standard-based education. Standard-based education focuses on what students should know and be able to do as a result of instruction. It focuses on what is learned and how learners can demonstrate their learning. There are two kinds of objectives in standard-based education: general objective and specific objective. General objectives of standard-based education are to use English to communicate in social settings, to use English to achieve academically in all content areas, to use English in socially and culturally appropriate ways. Specific objectives in English for occupations are understanding and interpreting spoken and written language on a work topic, using spoken and written English to participate in work interaction, using an appropriate language variety and register according to audience, purpose, setting, and culture, understanding and using nonverbal communication appropriate to audience, purpose, setting, and culture. Specific objectives in TESOL pre-K-12 standards are English language learners communicate for social, intercultural, and instructional purposes within the school setting. English language learners communicate information, ideas, and concepts necessary for academic success in the area of language arts. English language learners communicate information, ideas, and concepts necessary for academic success in the area of mathematics. English language learners communicate information, ideas, and concepts necessary for academic success in the area of science. English language learners communicate information, ideas, and concepts necessary for academic success in the area of social studies.
Syllabus Model of Standards-Based Education. There are three curricular standards for standards-based education. For the Curricular Standard 1, the curriculum is focused on meeting students' needs as determined by assessment of students' language proficiencies, goals, and interests. For the Curricular Standard 2, ESL instruction integrates language components, vocabulary, grammatical structures, language functions, pronunciation, and units on topics that are important to the students. And for the Curricular Standard 3, in the design of curriculum, students' levels of literacy skills, whether in their primary languages or in English, are an essential consideration. Other learners in group activities because they interact and discuss with each other to complete a certain task. Teacher roles. The teacher's roles are being an agent of change and the facilitator of the learning process. The teacher determines the content of learning based on the standard that the learners have to achieve. The interaction between them and the learners allows the teachers to help the learners to understand the materials, identify difficulties, and stimulate critical thinking. Instructional materials learner roles. The learner's role is being an active learner in the learning process. Patterns of learner groupings that are recommended are by giving a task to each group, with worksheets for each learner, and by providing the opportunity for learners to discuss about the task and practice in completing the task. Learners will likely be influenced by other learners in group activities because they interact and discuss with each other to complete the certain task. Teacher roles. The teacher's roles are being an agent of change and the facilitator of the learning process. The teacher determines the content of learning based on the standard that the learners have to achieve. The interaction between them and the learners allows the teachers to help the learners to understand the materials, identify difficulties, and stimulate critical thinking. Instructional materials roles. The primary function of materials is to support students' learning and increase students' success in learning, and the materials are usually from textbooks. The role of instructional materials is to activate the learner's prior knowledge and experience and to supply background knowledge. There is a variety of instructional and assessment methods to determine whether students have met the expected standards, including strategies such as demonstrations of learning, personal learning plans, portfolios, projects, rubrics, etc. The expected standards, including strategies such as demonstrations of learning, personal learning plans, portfolios, projects, rubrics, etc. These